it's hard to find teachings which will allow us to overcome the suffering completely.
And given the hard and continuous work they perform, monks need something to help them sustain themselves throughout the day.
On the other hand, in reality, meditation concerns much on practice, and practice makes perfect.
Having money making as a goal in life is not really satisfying and not necessary.
Sawadika. Welcome to Meditation for All program. My name is Joy Vanichgun and I will be with you through the program today. In Buddhism, all Buddhists worship the Triple Gem, which is composed of Lord Buddha, the Dharma or Buddha's teaching, and the Sangha or the monk. And then we will learn from Panikarastani Saro how Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha are our refuge. And the refuge should be something which is permanent, stable, and can bring only happiness to people, not suffering. This is the reason why the Lord Buddha's teaching have been kept within us over decades.
Actually, today's lesson is the 10th and final lesson of the Buddhist Concepts course. And there's one quite important component of Buddhist thought which we haven't talked about yet, but which I have left to last because you can only really understand it in the light of everything which has gone before. And yesterday talking about the importance of the perfections and how the Bodhisattva went about collecting up all those perfections over the course of many lifetimes. I think by now you can start to appreciate how it's not easy to reach enlightenment, or how difficult it is even to be able to conclude about what is good and bad in life in order to make the choices that you would lead you to have to prosper in the cycle of existence rather than become a victim. There are many religious beliefs in the world, but it's hard to find any religious beliefs which would lead a person to manage to break free of existence completely. Most simply talk about elevating the mind, or maybe becoming something a little bit better than a human being. But you don't find any teachings about breaking free completely of the cycle of suffering in life. Most of us hear only questions about why do we deserve such suffering. It's hard to find teachings which will allow us to overcome the suffering completely. So instead of feeling sorry about ourselves in Buddhism, we try to find a way to overcome suffering. We don't feel that we are getting a bad deal in life because we realize that suffering is an implicate part of life. And for as long as we are part of that life too, then we have to continue the suffering. But the things which we hold in the highest esteem in Buddhism, which by now I hope you understand a little bit better, are what's known as the three refuges in Buddhism. Refuge means something which you can go to when you are in trouble, something which you can rely upon when you are unable to cope for yourself. And if you think about it, it's rather, having a refuge is rather like a person who is shipwrecked. When the ship gives way and you are thrown in the water, if you are unable to swim, then you will try to cling onto anything which will help you to float and which will help you to survive. So for the person floating around in the water of a shipwreck, anything which they can get their hands on which floats will become their refuge. If you can cling on to even the floating corpse of some of your less fortunate passengers, then you would even do that. And this is rather like people who don't know any better, so they cling on to their physical body as thinking that the physical body is going to be able to help them to salvation. But of course we know that this is not the case, because our physical body is just a corpse too. Its days are numbered. So 70 years at the most for most people, that's how long it's going to be our refuge. It cannot be our refuge forever. So for even the person floating around in the ocean, they need to find something better than that to cling on to. If they can cling on to a stump of wood, a log floating in the water, maybe that's a little bit better than a corpse. So maybe they would try to cling on to that. They cling on to it for their life, because they think that that is going to be able to save them. And this is rather like clinging on to various beliefs about supernatural this or that, which may help them to overcome some of the weaknesses of being a human being. If a boat comes along, then of course the boat is better than a piece of wood, because you can get in it and you can get dry. So a boat is better than a log in the water, but it's still not 100% guarantee that you will have safety in life, because the next storm that comes along, it will sweep you off your, maybe it will overturn the boat. So even for the sort of beliefs which maybe start to talk about working on your mental attainments, it's better than simply having beliefs, because something within you starts to change. It can be compared to taking refuge in a boat. But what we are really looking for in Buddhism is a thing which is going to allow us to be on dry land, where you don't need to worry about the storms anymore, where you don't need to worry about the dangers in the ocean anymore. And the true refuges which are permanent, which are stable, which can bring happiness instead of suffering, then the things which we rely upon in Buddhism are known as the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. We already know that the Buddha is nothing more than a man. And some people of certain religious beliefs may have some problem with that. They say, well, how can you elevate someone who is a mere mortal, someone who is a mere human being, into such an elevated place that he would be the refuge to you? Well, we don't worship the Buddha simply as a man, but we worship him as an example of what we could be. Because the fact that he was a mere human being, but he managed to reach a state of mind whereby he could break free of existence, then this is a very important message for us, that if he can do it, then so can we, because we are merely a human being too. And for the concept of the Buddha, in fact, we can talk about it on 3 different levels. So if we talk about the Buddha as a refuge on the historical level, then we think about Siddhartha Gautama, who became enlightened as the Lord Buddha, who lived 2,500 years ago. And for people or Buddhists who think of the Buddha as a refuge in this way, then their thoughts and their faith about Buddhism is normally rooted in the authentic places and incidents in the history of the Buddha which took place in India all those time ago. So whatever the Buddha did at that time, then people will have their faith or their confidence invested in that time too. Often such people are very interested in things like the relics of the Buddha, because they seem to feel that even though the Lord Buddha passed away, but his presence is still with us, helping to inspire us to follow his example. And in the same way, for such people, the things which the Lord Buddha taught when he was alive, which are passed down to us in the Buddhist scriptures, the 45 books of the Buddhist scriptures especially, would still seem to be the refuge to people, the standard which is used to decide right and wrong, so that in case of doubt in life, then one can refer to the information which is recorded in the scriptures, and that would be the Dhamma on the historical level of meaning. It can still be a refuge to us because in the Buddhist scriptures almost every subject is described. And the Sangha on the level of historical description would be the example of especially the enlightened arahants who were disciples of the Lord Buddha, who followed what the Buddha taught to the point that they too could become enlightened as well. Especially the 80 main disciples of the Buddha. If we look at their example, then it can again serve as an inspiration to us that we too are a follower of the Buddha. We follow his teachings. So if they could become enlightened as a result of hearing his teachings, then why can't we as well? So on this sort of level, then the Triple Gem can be a refuge to us. But mostly it is based in our historical understanding of the Buddha. And if such people call into question whether the Buddha really existed or whether the scriptures are fake or not, then there's a chance that Buddhists who have taken their refuge on the historical level may have problems with that. Because there are some academics these days who try to throw doubt on the existence of the Buddha and so on. It would be a tactic which would destroy the faith of some Buddhists if they only took refuge in the Triple Gem on this historical level. But I think the message which comes from Buddhism, and especially for Mahayana Buddhism, where we talk more about Buddhism in spirit rather than Buddhism to the letter of the scriptures, is to see the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha not as historical phenomena, but as phenomena which have existed with us all down the centuries, where the idea of being a Buddha is not just connected with one particular individual who was the most recent person to attain Buddhahood, but that according to the teachings in the Buddhist scriptures, that there have been more people who have become enlightened as Buddhas than all the grains of sand in the 4 oceans. So the number of Buddhas in the past is countless. So this teaches us that the idea of being Buddha or being an enlightened one is not to do with being a particular person anymore, but it's more to do with the qualities of that person, the qualities of enlightenment, the quality of freedom from defilements, the quality of joy and happiness, which mark any person who is able to attain Buddhahood. So we're not talking about a particular person anymore, but we're talking about the quality of a person who can be a Buddha. So, according to such teachings, then this is a concept which didn't just end with the most recent Buddha, but it goes on. There will be Buddhas also in the future. And we too may be Buddhas in the future. In fact, it should just be a question of time. If we were more diligent in our meditation, maybe we would already be Buddhas by now. But unfortunately, we're not so smart in meditation, so we are still working on it. Some people have the intention to be a Buddha in the future. Well, that's a good start. Some people don't even have that intention yet. But it's only a question of time, according to the big view of the cosmos, which we have in Buddhism. Someday everyone must go on to enlightenment. It's just a question of time. Some people may be doing it rather slowly. Some people may not even realize it yet.
Having been allowed only 2 meals each day, the monks look to restore their thirst and energy at the end of the day with prana or refreshment. In this edition of Buddhist culture, we'll give you some insight on the daily routine of monks living inside the temple. Although the living is to be kept simple and peaceful, not without its rigors.
Having only 2 meals a day, and given the hard and continuous work they perform, monks need something to help them sustain themselves throughout the day. Pana, or in other words, refreshment, is therefore allowed by the Lord Buddha to be consumed in the afternoon by monks. Temple is a sanctuary for Buddhists and all other peace lovers. To converse with a noble one, or to meditate in the midst of a calming flow of peace, vigorously recharges the batteries of their lives. Temple is the dwelling place of peace lovers, choosing to walk the path of purity, simplicity, and chastity. Coming to the temple to have a talk with monks, or to meditate is one way of finding happiness for the body and mind. Even a small corner is space enough for a true experience of peace and inner silence. Cleanliness and its sweet scent, the sensation of coolness produced by the shade of trees, the greenness of grass. All these are the result of the labor performed by monks and novices as work assigned to all members in the Sangha community. Indirectly, these tasks create solidarity and provide a proper form of exercise for them. They make the temple look pleasant for dwelling and visiting monks, lay people, and newcomers who may visit the temple for different reasons. Some come simply to practice their faith, some to learn, some to find inner peace. Most temples possess a sizable area for serving its locality, and this inevitably burdens the monks with heavy housekeeping. However, under those tired and thirsty faces affected by the tropical heat, one can still see their hidden smiles.
You will now hear from Prat Somsak Piyasiro that only 15 minutes of sitting down for completely relaxation in meditation is much better than a few hours of lot of thoughts in your mind. Well, let's get relaxed and to be ready for meditation sections.
It is very nice to meet you again. Welcome everyone to the program Meditation for All. We have arrived at part 2 of the program. Before continuing further about meditation, it would be nice also to make a little revision of the basic. And from the previous classes we enjoyed together, I hope you practice meditation with your own self and also gain some inner peace or the fruits from meditation to some extent. As I have told you earlier, meditation is not a matter of talking, discussion, information exchange in the internet and so on. On the other hand, in reality, meditation concerns much on practice, and practice makes perfect. If you need some inner peace, the only way to do is to practice meditation. And also, meditation is not concerning the duration of patience. It is not a good idea to sit for a long time in order to count for minutes and hours of practice. You might sit for only 15 minutes, but in complete relaxation, you gain a lot. But if you sit for an hour without relaxation, it is a kind of a waste of time. If you are ready, we'll start meditation together. Just close the eyes softly. Relax the entire body from head down to heels. Relax as if the body is flooded by the stream of relaxation. Not even a single part of the body that is not relaxed. Remember the turning point we have talked for many times. Observe the turning point by taking a good deep breath. Follow the in-breath until we reach the turning point inside the stomach. The turning point is the station of peace. It is where the in-breath turns out-breath. Let's observe the turning point again. Take a deep breath. Follow the in-breath down to the stomach. At the far end of the in-breath, that is the turning point. This is called the station of peace because every time the mind focuses here, the mind gains inner peace. So we confirm this point as another name, the station of peace. Remain peaceful at the station of peace for a little while together. Relax further, like we are sitting in the nature, surrounded by the green, alongside the stream that murmurs again and again as the stream passes by. We get absorbed by the fresh of the nature. Let all the molecules get absorbed by the freshness of the nature. Remain really extremely relaxed. Relaxation continues while the mind stays so still at the station of peace. The center of the body is the same point as the station of peace. The center of the body is the tiniest point in the center of the stomach. By staying still at this turning point, the mind stays also at the center of the body. Stay at the center of the body in peace for a little moment. And then gradually, the body would turn lighter, would become weightless, lighter and weightless, until gradually and finally, the soft body could turn transparent. Transparency means the body could blend so well with the surroundings, blend well with the fresh of the nature. Meanwhile, the mind stays still always at the turning point. The body blends so well with the nature. Be one with the nature. Blend well with the fresh of everything around. And let's share this inner peace to the world. The mind that is in peace, at peace, can radiate endlessly. It is like the center of the body can expand in all directions. It is, in other words, it is radiating in all directions. Let's share inner peace by means of radiation to the world. Expand endlessly to the world. And if we feel ready, we gradually open up. Slowly be kind in this process. As you can see to yourself and prove to yourself that every time you allow the mind to stay at the station of peace, you gain inner peace. So the only way, ladies and gentlemen, to gain peace is to put meditation into practice. Remember, meditation is a matter of practice and you should do it every day at your convenience. And hope you enjoy meditation and practice it until we meet next time. Don't search for peace outside. Peace is just inside you, and meditation is just the key. Until we meet next time, hope you success in meditation. Goodbye.
For the next interview, we will hear from Mr. Johann Jacobi and his inner peace experience. Mr. Jacobi shared with us that making a lot of money is not the true happiness in his life. Prior, he was seeking to find the answer of peace in his mind by moving from one place to another, but had not found any. By practicing meditation, he found that the simple answer is just inside him.
Swadika. Welcome to Sunpa Himmawan, the Midway Meditation Retreat Program in Le Province. My name is Chantipa Vanishkun. I'll be your host today. The objective of today's sessions is to introduce our audience the Midway Meditation Program and some of the people who have been spending some time at the meditation center in Le. We have the opportunity during our program to interview each session, and some of the people we had the opportunity of spending some time at the meditation center in northeastern Thailand. Today we have Mr. Johann Jacobi from France. He would like to share his experience with you during his meditation retreat. Swadika.
Sawadee.
Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your background?
Yeah, my name is Johann. I'm from France. My parents were both German, but I spent all my life in France. And now I'm living in Phuket since 6 years with my family.
But what do you do in Phuket? Because you have been moving to staying at Phuket for 6 years.
Yes, I took an early retreat because I worked very hard during my lifetime. And I decided to stop working because I thought that just having money making as a goal in life is not really satisfying and not necessary. So when I decided to come to Phuket, it was a decision to stop working and to take care of myself and of life and of my family.
You took an early retirement
Retirement, that's
until
right,
come
yeah.
to Phuket to
Yeah.
start like a new life.
That's right.
That's nice.
To turn the page.
There's a page of the book.
Yeah.
Okay, how did you find out about this middle way meditation program?
Very simple. I bought a newspaper, and on one page there was a little advertisement, and it said that there is a meditation Sunday afternoon every third Sunday in Phuket town.
Okay.
In a ex-restaurant, in a park. So I thought, I will try that, and I went there and I really liked it. And it was for middle way.
This was
So-
for middle way in Phuket.
Mhm.
Okay. And how long have you been enjoying the meditation session?
In Phuket, you mean, or
Yes.
in my life? In Phuket, since this year.
Since this-
Yes, it's every month, one time, and I started in the month of May, I think. May.
Okay, and just right now you said in your life it means you started meditation before you moved to Phuket?
Yes. I started, before I retired and before I moved to Phuket, I started with yoga as a general training for well-being and relaxation. And it did me a lot of good.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it and I still like it. But later on, I tried meditation, and I didn't fall in love with meditation immediately. It took some time. But then I went to 3 different retreats in the last 4 years for a couple of days, a week about, where I did vipassana meditation. And even though it was very difficult in the beginning,
Okay.
but after a couple of days I felt very, very good, and I had very good experiences, and I felt so peaceful, It was like a glass of water full of dirty water, and when I put it down and do meditation, this water would slowly get cleaner and
Okay.
settle down, and my brain, my mind was like that, and it was a very happy feeling, it was a very comfortable feeling.
You said you have been practiced meditation before, right? It's vipassana. Is it not same like this kind of meditation you practice it at this middle way?
It's not exactly the same. It was only walking and sitting meditation,
Okay.
and breathing was very important. And it was somehow more difficult to do than this meditation here from Dhammakaya,
Okay.
which is very simple, really, and
You mean
rather
this
easy.
kind of
one-
meditation is simple.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, it's just to get away from this constant stream of thoughts and activities that make a life. It's just one thought after another, one activity after another. It never seems to end. You know what life is like. And I was always in my life living for the future. I always thought that one day I will move to an island, which I did, and I will change my business, and I will do this in my life and this, and then I will have arrived and I will find peace of mind.
Okay.
But over the years I found out that this was not happening. I'd never had peace of mind. It was just
Even
an
though you moved to
ongoing.
the beach,
Yes,
that was it.
I did what I decided. I moved from France main country to a French island, Reunion Island. And I did all what I had planned, but the peace of mind didn't come, you know, because I just continued to do one step after another, one work after another, one object in my life after another. And when I attained it, I wasn't satisfied. It was just a new object coming in.
Okay.
And so it was an endless chain.
Uh-huh. And you were wondering why you haven't reached your goal of your peace
Yes,
of
I
mind.
was wondering, what is this circus about?
Is that
you know?
reason that you want to try the other way, try to learn meditation?
Yeah, I was seeking for an answer. Yeah, that's true.
And you found it then?
Yeah, I found it, yes, because it's very simple. It's to stop thinking, to come to stillness and peace of mind by putting an end to this endless stream of thoughts and activity, and just put my mind and my consciousness into the center of my body. And then all activity stops naturally.
Well, that
And
sounds good. Sounds
yes.
wonderful.
Yes, and I can do it quite easily now. In the beginning it was a bit difficult, I
You mean
must
this
admit.
kind of meditation or just
Yeah.
a meditation?
Meditation in general. Yeah.
Okay.
And now it has become almost a way of being all the time. I have deep inside me an inner peace that it never leaves me.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Mm?
Okay. And maybe you can share with us your experience doing your meditation. That's why to make you so happy like this.
Yeah, here in this retreat, it's very simple. The method is very simple. It's just to relax in the first part my body by breathing and relaxing my muscles in my face one after another, and then relaxing each muscle of my body, starting from up further down. And when my body finally up to the toes of my feet is completely relaxed, then I start to put my mind inside me, inside the center of my body, which is somewhere here. And I just stay there, and I try to visualize a bright object, which in my case is a round object, like smaller than an egg,
Okay.
a little bit like the sun that goes down at the horizon, but not very red. It's more yellow and really bright.
You mean like the calm kind of color and the light, I mean.
It's a very nice light. It's not like these white lights. It's a yellow light, a warm light. And it's spreading the light. And I can feel some warmness, which is very comfortable. And then I just stay with that. And I feel good. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, you don't need anything else. You just feel so calm, so peaceful inside there. What do you mean? The techniques that you use to breathing to relax from head down to toes.
Yes.
And after that, you just imagine there's some brown object inside you with the light. And
Yes.
you just stay right there.
Yeah, when I get to that point, which is a little bit of work, when I get to that point, I'm really peaceful, joyful, and calm. And then I don't want anything. I don't want anything else. Just stay there.
You stay there. You stay there for long.
Yeah. Sometimes the Fra says in his way that now the meditation is finished by saying a sermon. And I am not ready to finish yet. Yeah, I want to go on a little bit more, and then I just sit there for a while and let it end naturally.
Okay, but did you stay on for a while, even though the class is over?
Yeah, for a few minutes, like 5 minutes or so, yeah.
You
Because-
feel good.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
feel
want
good.
it to end.
No, I don't want
Wow,
it to
it's-
end.
So that you have a great experience.
Yeah.
You
It
find
happened
your
each...
inner peace.
Yeah.
That's very good. It's mean, what is your feeling of the day after a good meditation? Just now you feel you're happy, you don't want anything. Anything else do you feel?
Yeah, I follow the talk of the meditation teacher when he says, now that we have reached this state, we can spread it to
Loving
the
kindness?
room, loving kindness, spread the loving kindness to the room, to everybody who is in the room, to the next village around us, and then to the district, and then to the country, and then in the end to the whole world. And it's a nice exercise, you know, not to keep this happiness only for me, you know.
That's very nice. Okay. And I think, because I have a question that if meditation can help you in your daily life, it looks like you use meditation every day now.
Yes, that's true.
It will be a part of your life now because you meditate every day?
Yeah, I meditate every day. Yeah. And it's a pure pleasure for me, you know. Before, in the beginning, it was sometimes hard, you know. It was like a discipline, you know. Like when you start to learn a new sport like tennis or so. In the beginning, you don't have much, you don't enjoy it very much. You just learn the technique, right? But then after 10 or 20 lessons, you start to enjoy the game of tennis. And this is the same for me in meditation, you know. In the beginning, it's a bit difficult, but then once I get this deep peace and happiness, then it's not difficult because I want it. I want it, and then it's not a struggling anymore, you know. So I'm very grateful and happy to have discovered this, you know. It has really changed my life, and there are many strange phenomena. Like normally, I usually slept in the night about 8-9 hours per night, and I thought that's the right amount of sleep for me. And sometimes I even thought it wasn't enough. But when I'm in the retreat, I learn that less sleep can be enough, you know. And here, I'm happy with not more than 5 hours of sleep, and I'm still completely awake, and I feel not tired at all, you know. It's like doing meditation releases energy that is somewhere blocked or stowed away in the body and cannot be used. By doing meditation, it just comes and becomes free and becomes available.
So you have a good experience.
Yeah, I can say so. Yeah.
Anything else for you? What is the most impressive experience you have? Do you receive from this retreat?
It is, in fact, the most spectacular thing is that I can now live a day by meditation, which is a day full of peace and calmness. You know, I don't get angry anymore. You know, it happens very rarely that I feel excitement and anger. You know, in a year, maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times, not more, that I get angry about something and I regret it.
You are a nice person to be around, but you don't get angry that
I think I'm a nicer person than I was before, for sure, yes. Because when I was working hard and so on, I was tense. There was a lot of stress that I created myself. Unnecessary stress, you know. And nobody had told me that there was a different way to live, you know.
But now you found the answer.
Yes.
What you've been searching for.
Yes, yes. And I don't want to lose it, you know. I will keep it until the end of my life, for sure.
That's very nice, okay. And what is your inspiration after this retreat when you go back?
My inspiration?
Yeah.
You mean for my personal life?
Yeah, for anything, because after you go back, after you finish the session, meditation session, right? Yeah. But when you go back, what's any inspiration you want to do? Maybe you want to take this kind of knowledge and share it to others and
yes,
start
yes.
with your friends?
I think it's important to share it with as many people as possible, you know. And I offered to the Middle Way people who organize the retreat in Phuket to help them and to help them spread the news that there is this possibility to do meditation in Phuket and maybe do it every Sunday, not only once a month, you know. And I have been doing this over the last couple of months. I've been telling all my friends, and
You know, you are recommending the meditation
yes,
program too.
yeah, it's the best thing, you know. It's better than anything else I can recommend for people who live around me, you know. The best present I can offer to human beings around me is to tell them to do meditation. I mean, we all look for happiness in life, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody is looking for the same goal. But it seems to be so difficult for most people to get to contentment and happiness in life, you know. And it is difficult. But meditation is a very simple way and a very effective way to get to peace, to end this madness, you know, and to feel good. I mean, the madness of the modern life, which is quite a mad life, you know. Running around all the time, after things, you know, I want this and I want that. And it's never enough.
Well, you're the proof of the meditation is for everybody.
For every human being, whatever the background is, if he's from Africa, if he's Christian or Muslim or Hindu or from the North Pole or from the South Pole, it doesn't matter, you know. As long as he's a human being, he can stop thinking, you know, and find peace and stillness and happiness through meditation.
You can be my mentor. Yeah. And any other objectives in life that you have? Besides searching for peace in yourself?
I have the same objective like all human beings. I want to be happy, and I want, for me to be happy, everybody around me has to be happy. Okay. Otherwise I cannot be happy.
And now, I think now you're reaching your goal now.
No, it will never be reached, but I'm on the path to...
You look happy, at least.
I am happy, yes. Yeah.
Okay. But because the location here and in Phuket, is it different?
It is more beautiful here, yeah. It's completely silent. In Phuket, it's near the town, almost in the town, but it's in a park, at the border of a park. It's green, there are trees. It's quite nice.
It's quite nice.
But sometimes there are noises from the highway. You hear motorbikes or somebody is cutting the grass nearby with a machine.
It's really nice.
And then it's a little bit perturbating. Here it's much more peaceful and the surroundings are so beautiful, and nature is something that's very inspiring, you know. Nature is so still. Nature never makes noise, really. It's so still. The trees are here, and you can look at them and they just are there
so
and
they're
enjoy
waiting
life.
for you. Okay.
I mean, if people would know what meditation can do to them, you know, they would all come here, you know.
And I see your two sons are coming to share you with with this one. How they like the interview?
How they like it?
Yeah.
They enjoy it. I'm amazed, you know, because when I was 17, 18, 19, I was not interested in meditation, you know. I was just interested in having fun, worldly fun, which is normal, you know. But to them I had to do no persuasion. I didn't have to persuade them to come. I called them, I said, there is a meditation retreat over the festive season and I would like to go. I feel tempted to go, but you are coming to see me, and so I think I will stay with you. And then they said, but Dad, I told you already I want to come with you to the meditation. You know?
Both of them. They are wonderful children. And how they like it? Is it their first time here to do
meditation? It's the
meditation?
first meditation retreat, yeah. We did already meditation. I tried to teach them, but it made them sleepy a bit, you know. It wasn't easy.
But now they are okay? They are adjusting to it?
They're adjusting to it. They are taking a lot of notion that they wouldn't have had if they hadn't come here, you know, about inner peace and stopping to be active all the time, you know, stopping to think and stopping to do things all the time, you know. You can also stop and just be.
Okay. So they're happy with it.
Mm.
Okay. And last question, let's say you're sitting in front of the DMC channel, or people all over the world are watching you. You like to say anything to them?
Yeah, my dearest wish is that all human beings can learn about meditation and try to do meditation. You know, it's just trying it. If you don't like it, you don't do it.
Okay.
But try it and you will see what it can do to your life, you know.
Just give it a try, you'll find it.
Give
you
it
will
a
see
try.
the difference.
Like
Yeah.
a jacket, you try it on. Either you feel happy with it and you feel good with it, then you can keep it and use it every time you have time and you feel the need. You can put this jacket on. It's like a refuge, you know,
Yeah.
a refuge where you can feel good when the world is getting too mad.
Oh, that's very nice of you to sharing the experience with us. So you'll have a great experience. So we should find your deeper inner peace. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Sawadee.
For some people, money is everything. But no matter how much money one make, it cannot buy the true happiness. The true happiness can only be discovering from inside yourself with meditation. Thank you very much for joining us. See you next time. สวัสดีค่ะ
I hope you have enjoyed our program, and of course your comments and questions are most welcome and can be sent it to us at meditationforall@gmail.com. I have to say goodbye for now, and remember 5 or 10 minutes of meditation is much better than you doing nothing. Wishing you have the great meditation. สวัสดีค่ะ